What's going on, you guys? TBR here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another King of Fighters All-Star video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the end of the SS Volume 5 banners. That's right, you guys. Both the SS Volume 5 fighter and card banners will be ending later on today, and we are going to be giving you all the information that you need to know in order to figure out whether or not you should be spending your hard-earned rubies in the last hours in order to pick up either of these characters, as well as these cards. But we're also going to be making a major announcement in today's video. There's going to be a video that you guys will see here at the end of the week that will be one of the most highly requested videos that I've ever done here on the channel, and I will be announcing that at the end of today's video. So you'll want to make sure that you stay tuned for that one. But before we get into all of that more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so and you enjoy daily King of Fighters All-Star content such as this, that you smash that like button and subscribe. And before we hit the intro, because I know, you're all expecting it, that's usually what we do at this point. However, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and throw it over to Past Me from yesterday, because for those of you who did not know, Netmarble did us all a really nice favor and gave us a full multi worth of tickets for the SS Fighter banner, and I went ahead and redeemed those yesterday. And in order to figure out how that went for myself, we're going to have to go back in time and see Past Me. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll go ahead and we'll cue that intro. Well, you guys, we have a multi worth of tickets here. I don't know why, but we've got it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this. I should probably wait, but why not? Let's just get it done. I'm not going to get anything anyway. I never do. So praise Rico, believe in the heart of the cards, all that good stuff. Who cares? We're not going to get anything. These tickets. I've never gotten anything on tickets for anything in this game. So, oh, look, a fest. Not going to lie, I'm a little bit excited. It's probably going to be off banner. Holy no freaking way. The curse has been lifted. I cannot believe it. It's a Valentine's Day miracle. Holy shit. I'm glad that I recorded this. Wow. Alright, you guys, so like I said in the introduction, today is the final day to pick up SS Terry, SS Mary, and their cards on the card banner. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a final summary on this banner and go ahead and let you know what I would do here at the end. So basically what we know so far when it comes to this banner is the fact that that codex is gone now, so we are not going to be able to pick up stones for either of these characters for awakening them like we normally would. This is something that we've already documented here on the channel. If you guys want to check out the video that we discussed that topic, you can go ahead and check it out. Link will be in the description. But long story short, we cannot get the stones currently for either SS Terry or SS Mary. However, when it comes to SS Terry, this is a character that you do not necessarily need to worry about having the SS stones for. Reason being, depending on who you ask, the R stones for your double attack Starlight stones are either going to be the best in slot for him, or they're going to, at the worst, be a comparable change from an SS stone set depending on which stones you're using. So really, in my opinion, you want R stones for this character, at least generally speaking from what I've noticed. However, I prefer a bit of a mix, and I will show you guys my build when we do a spotlight video on this character for those of you who haven't already seen it. Now, I will be doing a spotlight on SS Terry. I actually have that video mostly done at this point. However, I am working on another video that I will be announcing at the end of today's video that has been taking priority, so that's why that one's taking an extra couple of days. However, I think once I announce that video, you guys will understand why I'm prioritizing it. However, when it comes to SS Terry, for those of you that are wondering, if I were to do a spotlight on this character today, spoiler alert, I would be giving him a glowing review and probably a perfect score at this point. This is a character that is by far and away the highest DPS in the game currently. This is an absolute damage monster. He is a character that is an absolute must for things such as the new guild dungeon alongside Blue Mary, who we'll talk about as well. And so generally speaking, This is a character that while we can't get those stones currently, like I said, because Netmarble was really silly and took away that codex early, about 6 days early, then this character doesn't necessarily suffer that much from that. So in my opinion, if you're somebody who is still wondering whether they should go in for this guy, you can definitely do so and be safe, because like I said, any of those double attacks Starlight R stones are going to be just fine for him. So in general, Terry is a character that is a safe pull right now, and I definitely think that you should make sure that if you are considering him, you should probably really sit down and think about it today, because this is a character that there is a chance could be extremely high up in the meta for a very long time, just based solely upon the fact that he is so much stronger right now than a lot of these other uber tier characters. Now when it comes to Mary's a little bit different. Now, Mary is extremely powerful. This is a character that, again, for things such as the new Guild Dungeon, is the best in the game right now, in my opinion, for Guild Dungeon, because her ability to go in and spam on her Awakening with her S1 with the amount of damage she's able to put up because of her Shock Fang and all these other things that she's capable of. This is a character that you definitely would want for that mode. This is also going to be an extremely strong character for things such as Lunatic difficulty against Nightmare Geese. So in general, this is probably the best character in the game right now for both of those things. However, one thing that really does harm her is the fact that we do not any longer have the ability to use those stones from that codex, because they did give us that stone that went ahead and buffed that shock damage, and being the fact that she really likes to have that stone on her hexagon slot, that is something that nerfs her quite a bit if you do not have it. Now, of course, there's other options out there, but I would argue that that's the best in slot for her hexagon slot, so that did harm her in a lot of ways. However, if you do have this character and you're wanting to get another memory or two for her, I would definitely say that you'd be in a good spot to do so regardless, because even without that, this character is still a beast. Now, in general, I would say I wouldn't put her necessarily on the same power level as Terry necessarily, because Terry, like I mentioned, is an absolute god right now, but this character is not that far behind, and I could easily see a case being made for putting her near the top as well. So in general, this character is absolutely incredible. Both of these characters are fantastic, specifically for the things that I've already outlined, but in general, Terry's going to be a character that you could get by and use in almost anything in the game, and he's going to make a joke of it. And with Mary here, she's a tad bit more niche, but even still, she's a character that you're going to get a ton of legwork out of. So I think that there is value here with these two banners. It really just comes down to what you want to do, because to be honest with you guys, there is so much power here just in Terry that Mary ends up being just an awesome consolation prize if you don't end up getting any Terry memories. So in general, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with either of these characters, and I think that if you want to pull, you should pull. Now, when it comes to the card banner, we've talked about this already. In my opinion, this card set right here is an absolute must for a character like Mary. I think that if you're wanting to build Mary correctly, you're going to want this card set. So that is something that you definitely want to keep in mind. Now, in general, this card set is also going to be good on other characters here and there, but right now, I would argue that the best character for this set is definitely going to end up being Mary. However, down the road, if we get more characters that can exploit this card set, then you're probably going to find that you're going to miss out if you don't have it. So I would definitely put a lot of thought into that card set. However, I wouldn't say it's a must pull unless you really just want to get as much out of your Mary as humanly possible. Now, when it comes to the rest of the cards in here, we do have both finishers. Now, both of these finishers are things that I would definitely say if you're getting the characters, you need to get these finishers. They're extremely long. They're both going to have beneficial effects. You guys are going to see that Terry's recovers his HP by 8%. And then if we go and we check out Mary's here, this one's going to increase our attack and our crit rate. So in general, both of these are going to be finishers that have extremely long cinematics. They interrupt things such as the ground aura against Nightmare Geese, and you're going to want to make sure that you pick those up if you're planning on investing in these characters, because up until this point, the rest of the finishers available for them are not necessarily the greatest, so you want to make sure you get those. Now, when it comes to the option card, I think this is one you can largely skip out on. This isn't necessarily an option card that I view as being something that's a must-have. It might be nice nice for specific characters that are going to be grab based, but in general, I would say that this would be a card that you could go ahead and miss out on and not miss it too much. So that is pretty much what I think about the cards. Again, the card set, extremely good for a character like Mary, and if you want to get the most out of her, pick it up. You definitely want to make sure that you get these finishers for either of these characters or both of these characters, depending on what your preference is, and then the option card will just be a nice little bonus on the way to getting the rest of this. So that's pretty much what I feel about when it comes to these things. Now, there's been a lot of discussion here on the channel as to whether or not I should go back in on these banners. As you guys saw, if we take a look here, I am somewhat close to being able to make the set. Basically, I would need to pull at least one more of these cards on the way to the pity, which I'm not too far away from, and then I could go ahead and craft one of those cards and get the last one with the pity ticket. But at the same time, while that is only going to cost me about 4,500 or so rubies, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. Now, as you guys saw in the introduction, I did get a memory for Terry. So basically what that means is if I get another generic memory, I can take my Terry to A4. I would love to be able to get more memories for Mary, but I'm not necessarily the closest in the world to the pity. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bow out here. You know, Terry is really one of my favorites in King of Fighters, in Fatal Fury, obviously. So he is a character that I would love to be able to max out. However, I feel like now that I've got that extra memory from yesterday, thank you Netmarble for that clutch multi. Well, I think that at the end of the day, I can go ahead and finally just bow out of this and I'll be in good shape. So I don't think that there's anything I really need to worry about there, to be honest with you guys. Now, that does it for the SS banners. Like I said, you guys, if you plan on pulling on those banners, let me know in the comments section down below. How far up did you build up SS Terry and SS Mary? Are you planning on pulling more today? Let me know in the comments section. But before we end today's video, I promise you guys a major announcement for a video that we will be doing later on this week. And therefore, now is the time to go ahead and tell you guys that we will be doing another long form podcast video. And this time we will be doing it with the most requested special guest that we've ever had here on the channel. You guys have requested it and requested it and requested it, and admittedly he and I have been trying to get this thing figured out so that we could do it for a while now. Logistically speaking, with time zones and things, hasn't always been the easiest for either of us to get it figured out, but we have it done and you guys will be seeing it later on this week. I will be sitting down with none other than Forgo Nation later on this week in a long-form podcast video discussing all things the King of Fighters All-Star. So for those of you out there who have been waiting for this collaboration video, you have to wait no longer than the next couple of days, because I am hard at work on getting the final edits done on that video. I will have more information on this video later on in the week. You guys will be seeing it, but it is coming your way. Probably Friday at this point is kind of what I'm eyeballing, so stay tuned. But I just figured I would let you guys know about that. Myself and Forgo sit down for about 75 minutes or so and talk about all things the King of Fighters All-Star, and yeah, it's a good time, so you guys will definitely want to check it out. So I figured I would go ahead and let you guys know that, because again, I know that everybody has wanted to see that video for a very long time now, and he and I are finally going to be able to deliver on that. So that is going to be today's video, you guys. I hope you all found it enjoyable. If you did, smash that like button and subscribe. Let me know in the comments section down below if you end up pulling today, how it went, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. You all take care. Peace.
Continue.